places. If you are new here, and this is the first video you've ever clicked on, then feel free to click that subscribe button. You guys don't understand how much it helps. Sorry, I've got a really itchy nose. It's like one spot on my nose that just keeps going like. Sorry, yeah, click that subscribe button because shit like that happens all the time. If you aren't new and you are a returning subscriber, just leave a comment down below as to what you like the most about my channel or my videos, or just in general what it is that makes you click on my videos every day, because I want to do more of that, because I want to make it more clickable. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So, I actually haven't got a drink. I've got a can of lemonade here, or lemon and lime. It just isn't fizzy, because it was from yesterday, and I just wanted to see whether it was fizzy, but it isn't. So no, I'm not going to be drinking that. We're going to be talking about the team of the season for the Premier League. Now, I'm not going to be talking about EA's team of the season, although I will reference it a few times. But I want to go through each position: goalkeeper, wing backs, centre backs, everyone, all the way through to striker. Talk about the wingers. And I'm not just going to be like, this person is in my team of the season. I'm just going to talk about a few players that deserve the shout, and if I was to put a player in the position, who I would personally go for and why. Now again, this is going to be a mix of both stats and, or not really based on stats, just who I believe and who I think, based on what I've heard and seen throughout the season, should be in it. Disclaimer, like you guys always like to point out, and it pisses me off, I don't watch all their fucking games. I don't watch everyone. All I can see is highlights, and all I can see is scores, and all I can see is who people have gone, wow, he had a good game today. And if I see a lot of that, I'm thinking, oh, he must have had a good season. So, there's also other reasons I'm putting people in the positions I am. You'll understand when I get there. Anyway, first off, I want to do some tapping as well. Goalkeeper is what I want to talk about. And that is, there's a few we can choose from. So if we just go, I've got the Premier League table up here, and I've also got EA's team of the season here that I don't agree with on the majority of it. The goalkeeper, we've got the choice of Edison, because Man City are going to win the league. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to win the league. There is De Gea, because he's technically got the most clean sheets, but I actually don't think he's been the best goalkeeper this season. I think he's had some absolute blunders. He's pulled off some miraculous saves, don't get me wrong, but he's pulled off some blunders this season. And then we've got who I'd potentially go for in Nick Pope. Now, Edison, yes, he's been one of the best all season. He's been one of the best for the past few seasons. So he's definitely up there in with a shout. I mean, I'm not going to choose a goalkeeper from the bottom half of the table, because from Chelsea down to Southampton, we're negative goals. I'm not doing that. So really, it's a choice of who's had the least goals scored against them, and that is Newcastle. Newcastle have had the least amount of goals scored against them, which is 29. They might not have scored the most goals, but they have conceded the least amount. And I think that goes to show, basically, for the defence as well, how good that's been. But at the same time, Nick Pope has been fantastic this season. You can't tell me that he hasn't. I watched Newcastle-Arsenal yesterday, and although Arsenal won the match, Nick Pope still made some miraculous saves, as did Ramsdale when he's in with a shout as well. He's conceded 39, or as a team they've conceded 39, they don't play every game. But I personally would put Nick Pope in there for myself. Now, the EA consistent, or team of the season, what's it most consistent, they give it to De Gea, and then they give the Premier League one to Ramsdale, which again is understandable because of where Arsenal are. But I don't necessarily think that's been a Ramsdale issue. I mean, to be fair, he did make some great saves as well, so it's hard to argue it, but for me, I'd go Nick Pope. At right back, we have the likes of Trippier, who's had a fantastic season, and he's inkling in my head for me, who I'd put there. You're used to seeing the likes of, your Walker, your Reece James, and your Trent Alexander-Arnold, but I don't think any three of them deserve it this season. Instead, I'm going to look at a player because I think that Ben White has done miraculously well. Signed as a centre-back, transitioned to right-back, and he's been nothing short of phenomenal in terms of Arsenal's setup. Now, yes, when Arsenal transition going forward, the back four, Zinchenko drops from left-back into that CDM centre-mid spot, and the back three shift across, so he does become a right-sided centre-back in essence. But I also think going forward he's been fantastic, so he's up there with a shout. Diogo Dalot, I know a few people will throw a bit of shade on that, but I think he's had somewhat of an okay season. Not great, but up there is in worthy of a look in. Maybe not definitely got there. I don't think there's many others outside of that. I don't think Tottenham's wing-backs have been particularly very good this season. I know Pedro Porro has had some good games, he's had some bad games. Man City, they've been using Walker and Akanji and Ake all across the back line. They've lost Cancelo. I'm going to give it Trippier. The two centre-backs now, Ruben Dias and John Stones for me, I think have been an exceptional partnership when they've played, but they haven't really played together ridiculous amounts. Do you know what I mean? Like Pep has been swapping his defence around all season, and I think he's found a formula that really works for the players that he's got at the moment, with Ake playing left back and or centre back, Akanji playing right back and or centre back, with Walker playing both positions, Diaz and Stones sticking in the middle a little bit, but rotating that has been fantastic. Saliba has been fantastic. I can't wait to see like a full-on partnership of Saliba and Gabriel next season, with Ben White on the right and Zinchenko on the left. I think Arteta doesn't need to change anything next season in terms of that. I don't think they're willing to bring anyone in. I'm trying to think about what other centre-backs. Varane's in this one. Definitely wouldn't have chosen him myself. A player that I am going to choose, and I mean this, is Thiago Silva. And I know there's a Chelsea bias there. There's something in my eye that's doing me in. I know there's a Chelsea bias there. Okay, I understand that, but I don't think we'd even be 11th without him there. I think we'd be like 15th or 16th. There has been too many occasions where he's played and he's just outperformed anyone on that pitch. And at the age that he's doing it is outrageous. I'm not saying he deserves to be there. No, I'm not saying he has to be there or he is going to be there. I just think he deserves to be up there with them. Dunk has been excellent this season for Brighton. You've got Botman. I think he's been playing more left back, hasn't he? Had a Newcastle set up. Let me just have a quick look. Their last game against Arsenal, how did they set up? No, I don't want highlights. Newcastle Arsenal lineups. Yeah, Botman. Sorry, it's Dan Burn at left back that's been playing left back for them. Who did I say? Dan Burn at left back. Oh no, I was on about Brighton when I said Dunk. So Sven Botman, he's come into that Newcastle defence and really shored things up for them. Yeah, they typically Dan Burn left back, Shaw, Botman and Trippier. I think that's a great little formula for Newcastle, even against Man City. That was the lineup. Burn, Botman, they played Lascelles and Trippier because Shaw wasn't available. I think that's been a great little look in for them, and I think he deserves a shout. Botman. Arsenal, how have they been setting up? Arsenal, Liverpool, look at that. Gabriel, Robert Holding played. Leeds. It was Gabriel and Robert Holding because where is it? Newcastle. Gabriel and Kivior. Very strange. So yeah, maybe Saliba hasn't been. Maybe it was Saliba that's been injured. Is it Saliba that's injured? I thought it was Gabriel that was injured. Maybe it's the other way around. Either way, both of them deserve to be within a shout. And then obviously you got the Man City John Stones and Ruben Dias. If it was up to me, Akanji, Ruben Dias and Ake. Ake, he's been good. He's been consistently good, but I wouldn't put him in the best. If it was me, I'd also put Ruben Dias and Saliba in, with Botman in with a bit of a shout. Okay, left back, you've got to go Dan Burn, Zinchenko, and who Was it left back? Man City haven't really. They don't even play with their left back, do they? They haven't really played with their left back. It's been 3 at the back. He's been the left-sided centre back. So it's really hard for them to say Laporte. Okay, maybe with a shout. Robertson, I don't think he's had the best of seasons. If it was up to me, it would be Zinchenko. I think the way he's transformed that Arsenal defence and he just slots into that CDM centre mid role and allows the back 4 to change into a back 3 and then back to a back 4 so quickly. I think it's fantastic. I'm trying to think who else I'm thinking of. Brighton, how do they set up? Because they've had a brilliant Estupinian. He has been very, very consistent this season. Very consistent. Although he does come off quite a bit. He's always subbed Tyreek Mitchell there. He's in with a shout. I think he's done very well. Luke Shaw. That's another one where he's been transitioning to more of a centre-back and I rate it. No, I don't want highlights. Diogo Dalot's played a lot of left-back as well. Luke Shaw at centre-back. Again, they're all in with a shout, both at centre-back and left-back, but I think it has to go to Zinchenko. Now we're going to pick 2 CDMs. Number 1, Casemiro for me. I think he's been absolutely fantastic. I think he's been one of them players a little bit like Zinchenko for Arsenal, where he's just come into that team and the system has just clicked. Like Arsenal's defensive issues, even under Arteta to begin with, was a bit like, right, how do we transition this? And they were a bit leaky because they weren't really sure what they were doing. Zinchenko's coming in, it's fit. Man United, everyone saw that their holding midfielder just wasn't good enough, whether it was McTominay, Fred, even Bruno Fernandes at times playing that deeper role. No, it weren't working, so they brought Casemiro and everyone was like, what are you doing? How much money for a 30-however-year-old? And then he's gone there and gone, no, this is my role, I know what I'm doing. And all the other players have gone, oh, okay, so we just do our jobs. Yep. And it's worked like that. So fair play, Casemiro's in there with a shot. Bruno Guimaraes, again, I'd classify him as a bit more of a box-to-box, hard man. In that sense, I don't think he's more of a deep line playmaker. You've got the Rodris, who else sort of seems to play that role very well. Declan Rice, he's really come into his own, but again, we see him more as a box-to-box midfielder nowadays. So if we were looking at CDMs, it'd have to be Casemiro for myself. Looking then, because midfielder is a big transition, centre midfielders, should I say, are an open whirlwind of players that we can look at. Nowadays you've got De Bruyne that plays a little bit more central. You've got Bruno Guimaraes, you've got Joelinton, who's been fantastic. You've got Ødegaard, if I haven't already mentioned him already. I think he has had an absolute, think of it this way. When he signed for Real Madrid at such a young age, everyone was like, this is where we expect him to be. And then he was never there. I think this season we've seen that. Now, to be that person that everyone wants him to be, he has to do this consistently and he gets closer. But when he was at Real Madrid, it was like this. He was floating around that area. He's at Arsenal, he's performing at this level and consistently can reach that. And I think Ødegaard's had an absolutely belter of a season. So he's definitely in there for me. Again, De Bruyne's had a De Bruyne season. Him with Haaland up top is just outrageous. It's like a cheat code. All you've got is De Bruyne to go, right, I've got a bit of space. Where is he? He's there. Right, well, he will be there in about 6 steps. So I'm just going to whip the ball. He's going to run onto it and score. And it happens. So I think De Bruyne's had a De Bruyne season, and you can't take that away from him. I think he's the best player in the world personally, but hey, there it is. Other centre mids that are in with a shout. Let's just go back. Tottenham centre mids, wouldn't really pick anyone. Liverpool centre mids definitely wouldn't pick anyone. Man United centre mids, Bruno Fernandes, no. I don't think he's had the best of seasons this season. I think he's had his ups and downs at the very least, but he's looking a lot better without Ronaldo at the club. Newcastle, we've already mentioned Bruno Guimaraes and Joelinton. Brighton midfielders, who is consistently in their midfield. I feel like, for me, Caicedo, I think he's a brilliant player. Was looking likely to go to Arsenal, and if he does end up at Arsenal, I'd say that as a brilliant pickup. And last but not least, Alexis McAllister won the World Cup with Argentina, has come back to Brighton and seems to be firing again more recently than ever. Scored their penalty to beat Man United. They're currently losing 3-0 to Everton though, which is a bit strange. Decore with 2 goals and Jason still with an own goal. Hey, bit of a strange one. Fulham, João Palhinha, is it João Palhinha, is that his name? Where the fuck is he? That was Bournemouth. João Palhinha, he's had an absolutely excellent season at Fulham. They're in 10th at the moment. Aston Villa's midfield, who have they picked up more recently, and who do they play at centre mid? Kamara and Louise. No, I wouldn't really say that's exceptional. Anyway, but yeah, I think they're all within with a shout. Personally, at that centre mid spot, I go Odegaard or De Bruyne, or both. And then big shouts to like Fernandes, Alexis McAllister, players like that. Looking at wingers then, so you've obviously got your Salah and your Rashfords and your Sakas. Now, this is the point I want to make, okay, is everyone is saying that Saka is having the season of his life, and he is. He's been fantastic. He's been absolutely fantastic. Okay. But if we look at what am I doing? No, I want this season, I want this season, I don't want you. I want search for you. So if we look at this. What am I doing? I don't know. Saka is having a brilliant season. When you're comparing him to like a player like Phil Foden, who he said had a season of his life last season, he's got 4 more goals and 6 more assists in 7 more games, which I think still has a great turnaround, right? But I think Salah's had a better season. I know the team itself hasn't, but if we look at him this season, he's played the same amount of games as Saka, scored 6 more goals, got 4 less assists, fair play. But I just think at the end of the day, you're looking at, I don't know. It's like we're all saying that Salah's had a bit of an off season. He scored almost 20 goals. I don't think that's an off season. And if we're saying Saka's had the best season, I don't think he has. I think the team as a whole have had the best season, don't get me wrong. I think it's been fantastic for Arsenal, and he's part of that. I wouldn't say he's been better than Salah. So for me, I'd have to put Salah in that right wing spot. I just would. The same with Rashford, like, if I go now, if I do that again, where do I find my history? Do I have a look at these, compare stats, no, why did Michael Elise go in there? Rashford, add him in, change, and then put Saka in, because we're looking at left wingers as well. We want to go this season, So, Rashford's played 2 less games and has got 6 more goals, but 6 less assists than Saka, and 1 more extra clean sheet, less yellow cards. It's like even Rashford's had a better season than Saka on the basis of it. Yes, I know Saka's got 11 assists, and that is fantastic, don't get me wrong. We're saying that Saka's having the best season ever, and he's one of the best. I can't see it myself. I think Salah's had a better season. I think Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side has had a better season than Saka. But that's not to say he isn't within that whole conversation. If you could pick 3 of them, I'd pick all 3 of them. Who else is within a shout? Gabriel Martinelli. How's he been doing? Martinelli, because he's in the EA one. I wasn't sure about this. Search Martinelli. No. Gabriel Martinelli compared to a player like Saka. Fuck me, Martinelli's had a great season. No, that's all season. See this. Martinelli's only got 15 goals and 5 assists. If we compare him to Salah this season, he's got 2 less assists and 4 less goals, yet Martinelli's having the game of it, having the life. Like, between Saka and Martinelli, yes, they've been incredible. They've been scoring loads of goals, but that's between them. Salah's scored all on his own. It's fantastic, I think. I think Salah's had a better season than both of them, so I'm going Salah on the right, Rashford on the left. As much as I want to put Arsenal players in, I've put Odegaard in, I've put the likes of Saliba and Zinchenko in, because defensively and midfield they've been brilliant. But from an attacking standpoint, I can't pinpoint one of them. Do you know what I mean? And that brings us on to strikers. There's only like 1 or 2 players we can really bring up. One of them, Ivan Toney, I think has had a great season. Premier League goal scorer stats, because if we're talking about strikers, we need to be talking about how much goals they score, and that's as simple as that. Salah on 19 is in 4th. Ivan Toney for Brentford is on 20. That is outrageous to outscore. Like, let's put it this way. Let's do this. Ivan Toney has scored the same as Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Isak put together. And them two, as out-and-out strikers, have had a season. Gabriel Jesus, yes, was out injured. Isak took a while to get into form. But I rate Isak so highly, and I rate Jesus so highly. Yeah, Ivan Toney's had a season like that. Must be noted. I really hope he gets a Team of the Season FIFA card in some respect. He might already have one. It might have been released today. I don't know. New players. Who we got? I don't know. But then we get on to Harry Kane and Erling Haaland. Harry Kane having another season of his life. I really want him to come to Chelsea so bad. That might sound mad because he's a Spurs player and he probably won't come to Chelsea anyway. But I want him to so bad. I really want him at Chelsea so bad. If Man United get Champions League, I think he'll end up at Man United personally. But then we've got Erling Haaland, who is just ridiculous. Erling Haaland has just absolutely proven that if you set your mind to something, you can do it. He came here and said, I want to score goals. I know where I need to be at all times. I know where I need to position my body to get goals. And he just does it. He doesn't overthink. He doesn't cloud his judgment. He goes, you're there and you're there. I need to run through there and score that goal. And he just does it. And it is fantastic to see. It is fantastic. Like, regardless of what you say, watching Man City and that De Bruyne Haaland mix, watching that is absolutely entertaining. I don't care what you say. I don't care how many classes tap-ins. I don't care. I've seen goals this season where the ball's been played through, he's run past 2 people, bullied them and scored the goal. And that is everything I want in a striker at a club. That is everything I want. I don't want none of this fancy-pantsy, blah-de-blah, let's do this. This is what I wanted Lukaku to be. And that is what I still hope Lukaku could be. There's like a... I don't know if you can see this. I've lost it now, it's gone. It's like a bit of dust. I don't know. Anyway. That's going to be it for me. That's going to be my team this season. Managers in for a shout, obviously Arteta. I don't think Pep's in with a shout because it hasn't been Pep's best season. But I suppose in one sense you can quite easily say that transitioning that Man City defence that were beginning to leak goals into what it's become is fantastic. On top of that, Eddie Howe deserves an absolute shout because he's been fantastic. He's been fantastic with a Newcastle side which, if we're going to be honest, hasn't changed all that much. Like, he inherited. Who has he actually brought in? He's brought in Botman and Trippier and Pope. That's the defence. Fair play. And Dan Burn. He's sorted the defence out. They've still got Sean Longstaff. They've still got Willock. They've still got Murphy. They've still got Almiron. And they've still got Callum Wilson. They've still got St Maximin. But he's transformed them players. He's gone, right, this is what we need to make the defence good. But I can work with these. And he's been working with them and it's been fantastic. So, I think all in all, it's Eddie Howe that should get manager of the season. Arteta's actually bottled the title, so I wouldn't give it him. Pep has lost more than he's ever lost in a season for Man City, I think. I mean, they've only lost 4, but they've drawn 4. They've dropped more points than I think Man City have dropped in a very long time. If we go back, they'd lost 3. Lost 6 and drawn 5. Wow, okay. So it's not been Man City's worst season either. When they lost to Liverpool, they lost 9 and drew 3. But they had 102 goals, 4. And it's currently only standing at 89. So they only need 13 more goals in 4 more games to do it. And they could do it. Anyway, I think Eddie Howe deserves it. I'll catch you later. Goodbye.